Join the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles as it presents a Los Angeles Wildfire Benefit Concert on Sunday, February 2nd, 4 p.m. at the First United Methodist Church, 500 East Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena. Join us for a powerful evening of music, unity, and support as talented performers from our community come together to raise funds for those affected by the wildfires. The concert is free, and all proceeds raised will benefit those who have sustained unimaginable losses. It's the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles in concert, Sunday, February 2nd, 4 p.m. at the First United Methodist Church in Pasadena, located at 500 East Colorado Boulevard. All contributions should be made payable to the California Community Foundation Wildfire Community Fund. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light. Not only does God prepare tables, he flips them too. And we've been preaching more about the prepared table and not the flip table. Because truthfully, if we be honest, this is going to sting. We really don't want God to flip our plans. We really don't. You want a God on your terms. See how quiet it's getting?
My.
Because in your mind, you have time.
Yes.
I told y'all you're going to have to chew a little bit today, okay?
Yes,
have to chew a little bit. So I want us to say this confession, a few points, and we're done. Can I get us to say, Father, overturn every table that would cause for me to miss my appointment. I trust your interruptions. Woo! Let's say that again. Father, overturn every table that would cause for me to miss my appointment. I trust your interruptions.
My.
See? While you saying it, the Holy Spirit's like, bet. You trust my interruptions? Bet. You trust my timing? Bet. We ain't gonna wait till 2024, then we gonna start today. I'm gonna start flipping some stuff today.
Yeah, let's have church in here this evening. The voice of reason back in the building with another slapper. The pastor, what's his name? He set it up so cold. Jerry Flowers. Pastor Flowers. Give him his flowers this evening. Yes. My. Yes. He set it up perfectly. You've often heard me say, sometimes God gives you what you want so you could learn the valuable lesson that you didn't want much. See, sometimes you got to allow those interruptions. No, like he said, you want a God on your terms. I keep telling y'all over and over and again, and I will continue to do so. Relationships are inherently spiritual, and you can't let those unhealed wounds dictate the safe person. The wound, it don't know what a safe person is. Again, a wound is an addict. Let me say it again. An unhealed wound is an addict. So all it's looking for is relief, supply, the high, copamine. Do you understand? Not dopamine. Thanks to our good brother, Ronan from Indianapolis. So tonight's topic, because again, I'm sitting in the lounge and I'm listening to folk. They don't know I'm creating topics while they talk, but I do. I'm listening to folk talk, and I'm hearing things like, God is going to bring me a man. God gonna drop him off to me, and he gonna be the right one, and I've been waiting, and I'm patient. But listen, can I tell you, God gives you who you are. That's the only way you can learn how to want more for yourself. See, you got to be faced with yourself. Brilliant work from Krishnamurti, Relationship as a Mirror. Sometimes you have to be faced with yourself in order to see what you need to work on. But back to our guy, Carl Jung, when he says people will do anything no matter how absurd it is to avoid looking at themselves. It's such a painful process to look without judgment, to empathize, to embrace what you see about yourself, your shadow. You know, our psychologist friends will tell us the key is individuation, right? Where you merge your mask with your shadow. Very hard to do. So instead of doing that, I'm going to tell you right now, you've heard me say this is a toxic society, produces toxic people, which in turn produces toxic classrooms, i.e. relationships. So you've heard me say, I believe that many people have insecure attachment styles, and where there's an insecurity, there will be fear. So imagine you praying to God for the one, but fear is in your prayer for the one. Ooh. Does your unhealed wounds and the fear that it produces, does that contaminate the prayer? 1-800-920-1580. Tonight's topic, philophobia. Philophobia. Say it with me. Philophobia. There's negrophilia, which is the love for the Negro. But then there's also negrophobia, which is the fear of the Negro. And America, right, is conflicted. They are bipolar. Sometimes they have philophobia, negrophobia. And then other times, negrophilia. They love us and hate us. Oh, yeah, love us and fear us. Philophobia, fear of love. Have we, because of our refusal to heal, get on that healing journey, have we created a society of people who are burdened with philophobia, a fear of love? I believe so. You hear people talk about it all the day. Loyalty, trust. I say, oh, that's fear-based. What are you talking about? They can't even wrap their heads around it. Trust is fear-based. Right? You're broken. Trust is fear-based. It works on the same logical principles that Dr. Jashana laid out when she talked about the love language. She said, I don't know about the love languages. I believe that they come out of insecure attachment. Well, I believe that the trust, I got to be able to trust you in order to open up. That means you're internally insecure. Ooh, I know people don't want to hear put that way. But this is why Zoe Williams is here. This is nighttime. This for grown up. This is the night shift. This is the grown up time. Let's talk about it. Philophobia are your fears. The real thought and voice behind your prayers for a healthy relationship. Let me say it again. Are your fears the real thought and voice behind your prayers, behind your desire, behind your wish for a healthy relationship? Do your relationship prayers bring clarity, or are they merely an admission of victimhood and defeat? 1-800-920-1580. A deeper look at how fear-based supplication brings egoic stagnation. Philophobia. Are your fears sabotaging the love you pray for? You can't pray while you're in fear. Huh? You can't be a Christian and believe in the law of attraction at the same time, because sometimes they conflict with each other. Law of attraction says you got to act as if it's already there. You got to act as if you already have it. You got to be what you're seeking. No, that's too much work. And it's scary to look at myself. I'd rather somebody just come in, Prince Charming, and butler these wounds. Nanny these wounds. I need a wound nanny. That's a good man to me. Or that's a good woman to me. I need a wound nanny. I need Florence Johnson from the Jefferson. Listen. Y'all ready to do this work? Do your relationship prayers bring clarity, or are they merely an admission of victimhood and defeat? A deeper look at how fear-based supplication becomes egoic stagnation. Philophobia. Are your fears sabotaging the love you prayed for? When your prayers for love reflect fear, not faith. Oh, 1-800-920-1580. Did you hear what Pastor said? Pastor Flowers. He said sometimes you got to allow for God's interruptions. See, God's interruptions often come with instructions if you're paying attention. See, those instructions are designed for you to be the architect of a new construction in your life. But you don't want a new you. You want the same you, and you want somebody to cater to the old you, the same you that's been blaming and complaining this whole time. But if you want love, you got to become love. And the only way to become love is to love the hurt that lives in your heart before that person came into your life. Oh, I know that's hard. Oh, I know that's hard. I know that's hard. 1-800-920-1580. Is your desire for connection a mask for ego-driven resistance? How fear-based prayers trap you in emotional stagnation. What if the prayers you offer for love and intimacy expose not only your readiness for connection, but your fear of vulnerability and rejection? Are you asking for healing while clinging to egoic patterns that block your growth? On tonight's show, we're going to invite you to look at this radical concept of how fear masquerades as devotion. Ooh, turning your search for love into a sabotaging cycle. You already planting the seeds for failure because you don't want to change. Philophobia. Are you afraid of love? It sounds like we live in that kind of society right now. Am I wrong? Love is not enough. Love ain't real. I'd rather have trust over love. I'd rather have loyalty over love. All these people downgrading the level of consciousness that they have no concept of. The highest level of consciousness, which is synonymous with the source of all that is, i.e. God. Oh, I don't believe in it, but you believe in God. God is synonymous with love. And we talk unconditional love. You don't even know what it looked like. How do cultural narratives on individualism breed a fear of intimacy, the rise of emotional detachment in a hyper-connected world? Are we afraid of love because we fear ourselves? 1-800-920-1580. In an era that glorifies independence, philophobia has become a cultural symptom reflecting our collective avoidance of vulnerability. Has society traded love for self-preservation? When prayers become barriers, are your supplications for love rooted in fear? When I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines. Oh, don't be scared now. Andy, are they scared? Don't be afraid now. This is the topic you've been waiting on. Every night I come in here with a topic you've been waiting on. Well, here's the one you've been waiting on this evening. 1-800-920-1580. Let's talk about it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Now that Donald J. Trump has begun a second term as president, please join the Empowerment Congress and KBLA Talk 1580 to examine the question, where do we go from here? Chaos or democracy? At the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. This Saturday, January 25th, some of LA's top elected officials, Representative Sidney Comlager Dove, Assembly members Isaac Bryan and Sade El-Hawari will be on hand for what promises to be a lively and informative conversation. Doors open at 8 a.m. The general session, moderated by Tavis Smiley and broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580, begins at 9 a.m. The event is free, but seating is limited. Registration is required. Go to the Empowerment Congress website at www.empowermentcongress.org to register. Where do we go from here? Chaos or democracy? Join the Empowerment Congress and KBLA Talk 1580 this Saturday, January 25th. Doors open at 8 a.m. The free program starts at 9 a.m. Registration is required at www.empowermentcongress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, know it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Confidence without clarity is a big problem. With confidence, why you're seeking confidence is essentially because you have no clarity about life, isn't it? Yes or no? If you know how to drive, you're a good driver. You simply drive because you're clear what you're doing. But if you're a bad driver, you'll work up your confidence and drive, risking your life and everybody's life. Isn't it so? Only because there is no clarity, you're falling to the second option of confidence. If you could see very clearly, you would pass through life effortlessly. So what a human being needs is not confidence, he needs clarity of perception, that you're able to see life as clearly as it is possible. If you can see life just the way it is, then you will walk through life.
Lord have mercy, sad guru. The word confidence means con man. Do you see what he's talking about in terms of confidence versus clarity? Clarity is alignment with what is. Most people are not in alignment with the truth of who they are, the what is of self. So they have to cultivate confidence, which is a con job. Faking it until they make it. And then based on what they accumulate in the world, they build their self-esteem on what they've gained. Internally empty, spiritually bereft of any substance. Empty, lonely, in a crowded room of friends. Do you understand? You can't put prayer in the manifestation process. Let me say it again. Is it a prayer or is it a projection? How fear shapes your relational manifestations. The subtle role of fear in shaping your perception of love. You think a person who does everything your wound demands is a good person. No, they're a pacifier. Your soul is now in stasis, stagnant in comfortability, in predictability. I know you don't want to hear it put that way, but I'm going to say it anyway. How supplication without self-awareness creates fegoic relationships. What is fegoic? Fear and ego. Go get my book. The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship, circa 2015. Huh? Can you manifest love first without confronting fear? Fear-based prayers reflect fegoic projections rather than divine clarity. Are you asking for love? Or are you merely seeking validation for your insecurities? Huh? Do we live in a philophobic society? A society that fears love, unconditional love. What is your biggest fear for your relationship? How can fear affect you emotionally? True or false, philophobia is a fear of falling in love. It can also be a fear of getting into a relationship or fear that you will not be able to maintain a relationship. Many people experience a minor fear of falling in love at some point in their lives. But in extreme cases, philophobia can make people feel isolated and unloved. How does fear influence us when choosing a healthy mate? Do you know? Do you care? Let me get my brother John from Mountain View, Hawaii in the building. Talk to me, John.
Talk to me, John.
John, you got to turn your living room down a little bit. I could hear it all in the playback.
Okay. Greetings and blessings, chat. Let me move to another room and let this focus begin. Whoa, what a subject.
Come on. Okay,
let me start. Dr. Allenberger reminds us the best of you can see the worst of you. Let me take it a step deeper. When have you started parenting yourself yet?
Oof, come on. We did that topic this year too. Come on, I'm with you. Let's go.
The things are, everything that you need to be successful in this life is already in.
Yes, sir.
If the fact is you haven't gotten in touch with your inner self, your childlike self, which also brings about very interesting pictures in my mind, like me as the old man facing me as the young child, kissing him in the forehead. Maybe that's the love we need to give ourselves to build ourselves up to be the unique, wonderful, and special people that we are in this world. Instead of expecting some outsource to give it to you when you can give it to yourself.
Wait, stay with me. Don't go nowhere, because you are on point. When I say you're on point like a bullseye. When we come forward, man, we going back to Hawaii. Let's keep it blazing.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The Trump Department of Justice is halting police reform agreements and barred new civil rights cases, citing a need for review by the next administration. This affects deals like Minneapolis Police Department's consent decree after George Floyd's murder, reflecting Trump's stance against such reforms. Authorities say the Nashville, Tennessee school shooter, a black 17-year-old who killed a student before taking his own life, left writings on social media showing school layouts, gun photos, and neo-Nazi propaganda with anti-Semitic views. Wall Street is closing with stocks higher as the S&P 500 finished at a record high. It comes after President Trump called for cheaper oil prices and lower interest rates when speaking virtually at the World Economic Forum. And Black New York Attorney General Letitia James is announcing Purdue Pharma and the Sackler family will pay $7.4 billion to settle opioid lawsuits. Funds will support addiction treatment and prevention. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Yeah, y'all, come on.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, y'all can give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power!
Small businesses are the heart of America. But you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with SCORE. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their program. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
There's one key to understand whether your mind is functioning properly or improperly, and that is whether there is the presence of emotion or ego. If you have emotions that are active, then your logic will be flawed. And this is where people will say, no, but I am perfectly logical. If you cannot feel emotions, that means that they are active. That means that they are active and suppressed. Tons of fMRI studies that show that our emotional circuits of the brain are active all day and all night. You always have emotion. So if you can't feel the emotion, that just means it's active and you're unaware of it. Blindness and inactivity are two different things. So if you are aware of your emotions and they don't control you, then your thoughts will be good. The second sign that your logic is flawed is the presence of ego. And what is ego? I statements or comparisons. Anytime your mind says, I am ... therefore I can or cannot do this, that is flawed. Anytime your mind says, this person can do this, but I can't do it because I'm this, that is ego. Your logic will be flawed.
Jeez, Tracy? Dr. Tracy, why you gotta slap us up like that? She's on fire, man. That's not Dr. Tracy? Who was that? It sounded like her, Andy. Oh, that's the Healthy Gamer. Yeah. He had a Dr. Tracy tone. You know, I can't see his face from here. Hey, but he was on fire. Loved every bit of it. Listen, I know intimacy is scary, right? We talked about insecure attachments. We know of the 4 attachment styles and the sub-styles and the various blending and blurred lines between those 4. Only one of them is secure. The other 3 are insecure. Insecure attachment styles will breed fear, right? It will breed fear. Fear of intimacy. See into me. Closeness. No, don't get too close. And yes, it all happened in childhood. Primary caregivers, we know the story. When you have relationship fear, everything is fraught with potential negative reactions. So you become very careful, tentative, and anxious. Fear of your partner's emotional outbursts, their constant judging, shaming, and blaming are common reasons for you to feel fearful in the relationship, according to Swartz. When you pray to God for a loving and healthy relationship, you should make sure that the energy of fear is absent from that supplication. Now watch Krishnamurti flip it on its head. Self-interest is the cause of fear, Krishnamurti. Self Self-interest is the cause of fear. I need somebody that's going to take care of me. I need somebody that ain't going to hurt me the way I was hurt in the past. I need this. I need that. Do I look like I would go 50-50? Look at me. Validate me. Self-interest is the root of always asking for something that you should be giving to your damn self. 1-800-920-1580. Let me get my brother back in here. John, Mountain View, give us your final thought on this, brother, because you were cooking with the rarest Emerald Lagasse seasonings. Let's go.
Well, my dad's a chef, so I'll take his ingredients and go forward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But nonetheless, how this tool of you fearing your own love, which again, unless you're child abusing yourself, why are you running from yourself? How can you do that? How can you do that? The simple fact is, if you're not protecting little man or little girl, whoever is listening to the sound of my voice, if you're not protecting him, who will? If you're not loving on yourself like you would the inner child in you, who's going to love him?
Wait a minute.
Who's going to love you?
Wait a minute, John. You hit me in the heart, because what you basically just said, be your own damn answer. Stop looking for answers coming in. The answer is already within, correct?
Well, the outward adornments and everything that everybody else is looking for, the outside appearance of that everybody else may see, like you driving the Mercedes-Benz before 2020, but now doing DoorDash in the same Mercedes-Benz.
Ooh, come on.
Your focus is wrong.
Come on.
If you're going to be focusing on the person you really love, it's got nothing to do with the outward adornments. Your Christmas tree sucks.
Come on. I hear you.
Burn that joker. But love you.
Right.
Get a better, intimate relationship with the child you left behind and the parent who may have left those scars. And for parents out there, start apologizing.
Come on. Come on.
I'm working on this myself. I'm working on it with my own children. And just like what took place in California and the scars that were left by the fire, who's going to come back? Who's going to come to heal that?
Oh, but let me give you some of this. It's easier to manifest communal love than it is to manifest the love of self. Because communal love is an escape. It's a coupon. It's a rebate. You could say, I did good things for others. And you can have a moment of feel good because you've done good. It's like an orgasm.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, where's my hug then? Where's my hug? I want my hug. I ain't got nobody hugging me right now. Guess what, though? I hug myself.
Come on.
I tell myself in the morning I love me. I tell myself when I get finished with the workday, welcome home. I feed this soul. I bless this soul. I love this soul. That is the reason why I can love you.
Right. But see, you're a rare being. Many people, like I said, struggle to look within. This is why I've labeled it pathological altruism. I could sit up in my house and, let me go give a box of clothes, and you feel good. You feel like you've contributed to the community at large. But when it's time for you to look within, I'm glad Pastor John is looking within. But many people, no, I will not. No, I will not.
But what about that inward look? What about that inward look that would keep you flipping tables like the bishop already said?
Ooh.
Because you may have to flip those tables for yourself. Excuse me, I don't have to buy this today.
They got to find the testicular fortitude in order to do it, though.
Well, check your pockets, and I guarantee you it may get you there faster.
That's why I love talking to Pastor John. Hey, John, you got to know, man. Guess what you just did?
Mountain View is in the house, and I'm actually at home.
Hey,
Blessings to
man,
all.
I
Love you.
appreciate you, brother. I love it. Krishnamurti, you can only be afraid of what you think you know. And for many of us, all we know is what molded us. And that's where the seeds of fear were planted. Then we go to church and pray for the Lord to give us our ideal as opposed to the real. When I come forward, I'm going back to the phone lines. We in here cooking.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
There ain't a problem that I can't fix, 'cause I could do it in the mix, in the mix, in the mix, in the mix.
Well, so
You're moving from point A to point B in your little circumscribed world. You've made everything invisible. And as long as that works, then your theory's good enough. It's accurate enough. It's true enough. You're in your little paradise. But if something comes up and objects, well, that's where your character is tested fundamentally. That's the character test. It's like, what do you do with messages of error? And that's a tricky issue. Okay, so here's a solution to that. Here's what not to do. I am a bad person. I got to see myself. I'm a bad person. I might as well just go jump off the bridge. It's like, no, that's not good, because what that means is that every time you try to learn something, you're going to make a mistake, because what do you know? So you're going to make mistakes. And if the rule is every time you make a mistake, you're going to go jump off the bridge, then that's not a useful problem-solving strategy. And so when you make a mistake, you don't get to beat yourself to death with a club. It's a bad strategy, and you'll have your internal tyrant in there who's perfectly happy about doing that. That's the, overactive superego that Freud talked about. Maybe it came to you via a parent who was too authoritarian, or a grandparent, or maybe it's just you because you're disagreeable and neurotic, and so you'll take or hyper-conscientious. You'll take yourself apart. Well, so you've got a problem. Something has objected to you. Then the question is, well, what does that mean? Well, maybe you're not looking at the world right. Maybe your goals are wrong. Maybe you're not acting properly. It's okay. So the question that arises when an obstacle emerges is, which part of this structure needs attention? And the first answer can't be all of it. Which is why when you're arguing with someone in an intimate relationship, and you're angry at them, and you want to win, which is a big mistake, you want to win, you say, well, this is what you're like. Here's another 10 examples of how you've done that in the past, and I can enumerate more of them if you'd like. And so that's actually what you're like, and I've tried fixing you and it didn't work, and so it looks like you're going to be like that up into the future, and you're basically saying to them, well, you're a bad person, and the only thing they can do is either collapse or punch you. And punching you is actually better than collapsing. You know what I mean? It's such a counterproductive way of arguing. You don't leave the person any out. And so maybe, well, they're civilized, so it doesn't get physical. Well, maybe that's good and maybe it isn't. But then they end up either really not happy with you in a way that they will manifest the first possible opportunity they get, or they have to go off in the corner and cringe. It's like, great, you won. It's like now your partner's either hates you or is cringing. It's great. That's a real good victory.
My goodness. Dr. Jordan Peterson. The fear of love is a barrier to transformation. You can't even let your spirit down even when you're by yourself, let alone with somebody else. You're so busy working on the mask and the presentation to be perceived as the ideal version of yourself, as the completed version of yourself. Love is the most profound force in human existence. It possesses the power to heal, elevate, and transform. Yet, for many, the prospect of intimacy triggers a primal terror, often referred to as philophobia, the fear of love, or emotional closeness. Right? This fear, rooted in the interplay of psychological wounds and spiritual disconnection, reveals the ego's resistance to vulnerability and self-discovery. By examining the psychological roots, the metaphysical implications, and the relationship patterns associated with philophobia, one gains a deeper understanding of how this fear undermines not only our human connections, but also the path to spiritual evolution. Relationship is a spiritual evolution machine. It can evolve you into a greater you if you would be okay with looking at you, accepting you, embracing you. The fear of love often begins in childhood, where early attachment experiences shape one's emotional blueprint. John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth, the cornerstones of that theory, identified insecure attachment styles: anxious, avoidant, and disorganized, often called fearful avoidant, as reflections of unmet needs for safety and connection. Now, we talked about this. The way psychology is set up today, the need has to be filled by someone external. But now it's starting to shift. Psychology is starting to understand, no. This work that needs to be done, sure, you want a partner that comes in and supports your needs, but really, it's up to you to provide what you need. Imagine coming into a relationship with your needs met. And I'm talking psychological needs, man. Imagine what that would look like if you were able to walk into a relationship without an insecure attachment style. Wait, let me go back. Imagine if you were able to walk into a relationship without an attachment style at all. Yes, it's a very successful theory. But does it have to be your truth? What if you transcend attachment styles altogether? See, when we talk about love in its purest form, what is it? It's unconditional. A style is a condition. Y'all don't want to hear it put that way? Okay, let me give it to you the way Krishnamurti would say it, because, again, he going to say it slightly different. Fear is the destructive energy in man. It withers the mind. It distorts thought. It leads to all kinds of extraordinary, clever, and subtle theories, absurd superstitions, dogmas, and beliefs. One is never afraid of the unknown. One is afraid of the known coming to an end. A man who is not afraid is not aggressive. A man who has no sense of fear of any kind is really a free and peaceful man. You ain't met a free person. You're still a spiritual slave. I would even go as far as to say your wounds treat you like chattel slaves. I know you don't want to hear it put that way, but that's what it is. It works you. It works you your whole life. You being worked by a wound your whole life. And you want your partner to come in and just fit in and fit the wound and fit. Like if you could just coexist with my unhealed wounds and cater to them. When I come forward, the voice of reason will keep shooting from the Wraith. Let's get it.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The Trump Department of Justice is halting police reform agreements and barred new civil rights cases, citing a need for review by the next administration. This affects